You're shaking now, having lost all patience for tact. No more evasions. You have to know everything you believed, everything you have done for the gods. Did you lie to me when you said the gods could end suffering? Theos says nothing. Are there no gods?
What is a god? A higher power? A rewarder of good deeds and punisher of the wicked? Something men can turn to in their darkest moments when their days seem only like bridges from one tragedy to the next. Our gods are all these things.
Theos' face remains a mask of impassivity. With Theos every word, you find yourself losing control of a boiling cauldron of rage and doubt and fear and hopelessness until you can take it no more. Are there no gods?
We are in a sacred place within earshot of the gods themselves. This is not the time. You've been through much these past few months.
With maddening calm, Theos puts an index finger to his lips.
You will return home and you will rest. When you feel you have recovered, you may rejoin us at the trials. The Inquisition is far from over, and I will have need of you. There are many who continue to spread the lies of the apostate. The Inquisition will not end until we have pronounced judgment on all of them.
His eyes linger on you, and there is no mistaking the threat behind it, and your rage shrinks at the image of an iron wheel in your mind, monolithic and caked with the dried blood of thousands. You do not ask your question again. So I was weak back then. No longer.
How did you find it?
I didn't. It was Lady Webb.
Another in a string of acts of petty defiance. For all her knowledge, she always preferred spite over reason.
It was reason that guided her hand in this.
Then she should have obeyed. I ask one thing of all my followers. She was incapable. A waste of rare talent and intellect.
Blind obedience is a lot to ask of someone with a mind of their own.
What of your cohorts, then? They have followed you to their deaths. Is it loyalty that brings them here? Or is it, as my agents suggest, that they have no direction of their own? You worshipped Aethys, did you not?
Your spies are good. What gave me away? The cape?
Oh man, I love him.
Yet when your god needed you the most, you chose your country.
Eder frowns, irritated.
We were being invaded. Not by anyone who was acting like a god.
Then I should think your hometown gave you a hero's welcome when you returned.
Theos gives a thin, patronizing smile.
They made cake. Hard to blame people for losing faith when it's the gods who are misbehaving.
The gods argue over how best to prevent Kith society from destroying itself. These disruptions would not be necessary were mortal instinct not so diseased.
Durance stares at Theos with a beast's snarl. Theos watches him calmly.
You built a weapon that delivered exactly as promised.
I served my goddess as you did yours.
Yet the other builders were slain. 11 of a dozen. Why not you? Were you somehow different? Redeemable in your god's sight?
Whatever desire I had to be redeemed in her eyes was weakness, purged by the Watcher's sight.
Or was it merely that your goddess wanted you dead as well, and your delusions of importance prevented you from seeing the obvious?
A whore's beguiling charms, nothing more. But the spell's broke now, Theos. The trial's over. I know friend from foe. And I've come here now to see a foe repaid.
You were able to destroy a god because another god wished it. Without her hand to guide you, you could not strike at a god any more than you could strike the sky. You are impotent, and not just from the pox. I understand your Duke's bells gave you a mission.
Theos' sudden attention causes Pelagina's feathers to ruffle.
Their orders do not absolve me of my greater responsibility to the safety and well-being of the Republics.
But Aegina lifts her head defiantly. You might want to skip over this one, Theos. Don't want to pick a fight you can't win.
Yet you disobeyed. Something you already have a reputation for. They will know, of course. If it had been for a worthy cause, they might have forgiven you. But I don't see them pursuing animancy after seeing what it's done here. They trusted you, and you disappointed, as you always have. And you will again be disowned.
The parents scold, but the children are safe. Whether animancy research continues in the Republics or not, they will survive. For now, that's enough. In any case, I wouldn't be so smug about my fate, Theos. I imagine Boudica responds to disappointment much more severely than even my dukes.
She takes a long step forward, a sinister smile spreading across her face.
State your name and purpose, young acolyte.
At the sight of Aloth, Theos' mouth twitches derisively.
My name belonged to the gods, and my hand to their service.
Aloth's eyes darken.
You serve none but yourself. Without contact with your order, you can have no higher purpose. Only the base concerns of the flesh. You have cast yourself from our ranks.
And I should have done it years before. I'd rather live in uncertainty than servitude.
And that uncertainty would lead you where it leads everyone. To doubt, to emptiness, to the many cruelties inspired by disbelief. You will have to forgive your Grandmaster for remaining skeptical of his initiate's choices.
Theos regards Mania.
And the lost gift-bearer. You have been many things in this life, all because you fear what you really are.
I know what I am, and it's the searching that got me there.
But it was the promise of redemption that led you down that course. Where would you be if you thought all was lost?
What a pity. You must not think much of people if you feel like we're all so hopeless.
Or perhaps I have merely witnessed the alternative. You are here because you are lost. The gods cannot reach everyone, I'm afraid. May you fare better in your next lives.
Theos looks over your company, each one in turn. He directs his gaze at you.
I gather you have had your soul awakened. Why else would you shadow my footsteps like some stray mongrel? You think I have something to offer you, but our business was concluded long ago.
Our business will conclude when you have told me all I wish to know.
I answered your questions once. That your soul is not fit to accept the answers is of little concern to me. I lied to no one. Not to you, not to anyone. The gods are real. They are everything we need them to be, and the world is better for it.
You've convinced me once that spreading your false faith would end atrocities, yet here you are committing your own.
The spread of our faith ended many such atrocities. I do what I must to ensure it continues to do so. The heart of this country has skipped a beat, nothing more. I have done far worse. I plunged the peaceful kingdom of Telosus into civil war. I slew the monarch of Desantio, whose people never knew hardship under his rule, and replaced him with a cruel despot who brought them to ruin. When plague arrived at the great city of Arborensis, I saw to it that the cure did not. They piled their dead outside the city in heaps that rose above their walls.
Nothing could justify these atrocities.
That's where you are mistaken. There was a time, back when your soul was still a shapeless mist, when the world believed only in false gods. Thousands of them. Gods that told them to take slaves. Gods that told them to make war upon their neighbors and devour the slain. Gods that told them to burn their children alive and cover themselves in the ashes as a sign of their faith. But all that changed when they learned of the true gods. Our gods. All those misshapen, bestial instincts melted beneath the radiance of our God's majesty. You could see it in their eyes. That dull, emptiness replaced with the glimmer of a kindled spark.
Teaching them there were no gods would have achieved the same purpose.
And replaced it with one far worse. Have you imagined this existence? The one the apostate would have created. We are not all so virtuous as she. Without our gods, the most wicked, the most tyrannical, they would take that power for themselves. But more than that, it would be a hollow existence. All mysteries forever unanswered. All purposes constructed from meaninglessness. No endings to bring closure. Only a wheel, turning without mercy, grinding our spirits to dust.
Theos no longer looks at you as he speaks. The reflection of the ancient machine flickers and dances in his eyes. You underestimate people.
For all my years, I have seen exactly what they are capable of. What the apostate asked was beyond any man. All I have seen, the millennia of experience. I will not be dissuaded from this course. This is the only way.
Then you must be stopped.
You are not the first to say that. Nor will you be the last. As long as the cycle churns, my work will continue, unbroken.
Oh, that's where you're wrong, buddy.
With your soul and thousands of others, I will see this world purged of its suffering. Hear me, Woedica. Your servant calls for aid.
Theos puts his hands out low to either side as though welcoming some unseen guests. He shuts his eyes and casts his face skyward. Oh, it's on, guys. Oh, it is on.
Roach 10!
Sorry, what? Oh, that's not fair. Okay, bro. Let's dance. Yeah, we're not there yet. He's barely injured. Dude, he's almost invincible to being paralyzed, hobbled, stuck, or prone. Is it just movement speed? No, it's dazed. And he's not dazed right now. Oh, he's petrified. He healed himself? Rude. Okay, so we're dazed. What is he doing? There's different phases to this fight? That's a bit unfair, bro. Oh, he's immune now.
Tell me.
Okay. Sure, we'll fight that thing. That is A-okay. That is A-okay. Guess that first, bro. You get go. Lame. Move away. You two. You two. Let's not stand in front of him. Whatever we do. Now heal. Minor avatar. That. Okay, now that you're the bro. Wait, it's already activated? I don't get it. What? Since when? Okay. Uh-oh. Dude, you gotta drink, man. You too, bro. Okay, you know what? Don't drink. Why can I not cast this? I don't understand why I can't cast this spell. Uh-oh. Oh, that's not good. Apparently it is. Again, I can't use this spell. I don't know why. I can't use Minor Intercession. Like, I'm being, like... I don't get it. It's like the game is preventing me from using one of my, like, powerful healing for no reason.
Guardian isn't doing...
Dude, what is affecting me right now? I don't get when I'm taking damage.
What?
I was gonna cast the flame again thingy. No. He's super resistant to prone. That's not gonna work. Do that to him. Okay, we don't have any eels anymore. That one is not dangerous to me. It's a faux AoE. Oh, come on. He moved out of it. You absolute pistachio.
Hey.
Forgive me. What he got?
Oh, he's dead. Well, that went well. Yeah, we can finish this. No, he's super resistant to prone too. Not to this, though.
Getting through
Also, not resistant to this.
me.
I mean, he is, but not all that much.
Lavaru, be on.
Just plaster him with this. He did not.
And that's how it's done.
That's it.
Let's go, bro.
Lava.
What else you got? Yeah, that's weakening
How
him.
may I help? That's not.
Okay, now he's weakened.
Worth and rough.
There we go. At your feet rests the body of Theos, hollow, the dense wrinkles shaped by the silent shouldering of an eternal burden now smoothed across his color-drained face. His soul remains still for the moment, defenseless, its energy expended in defeat. It lies sprawled across his body like a death shroud.
That's the servant down, and the mistress still to go. A good start, worthy of being built upon.
In his own way, Theos must have truly believed he was
Yeah.
the people of Eora, protecting them from themselves. A shame his soul won't have a chance to reflect on his errors before it enters the wheel.
Some point, you have to look at the things your god is telling you to do, and ask yourself if it's worth it. He spent his lives, more than any of us will ever know. For what? Binding the world to a lie. Could a man like that ever be redeemed?
Alad shakes his head, looking down at Theos in pity and wonder.
Can't help but feel sorry for him. To live so long without a fresh start, with no chance to wonder what's around the corner.
She shakes her head. Explore Theos' soul. To use your save in Pillars 2, all you have to do is nothing else than end the game. What do you mean? Oh, you mean like all I need to do is end the game, then my save is just like, okay, and then I can import that save from this moment to the other game. Like, does it create like a ending save? How does that work? With a deep breath, you plunge into Theos' soul, and And where in Brackenbury it had been a maze of narrow corridors and dead ends, now it is inexpensive and borderless, its walls crumbling into heaps like the ruins of Ingwith as you pass through them. You travel for what seems like ages, rushing to a known destination, a memory you glimpsed once before. At last you see it, no more than a pinprick of light at the end of a long tunnel, expanding slowly at first and quickly as you near. You come out in a room you are standing in now, but it is new and pristine and filled with people, thousands of them, all turned towards the great Adra pillar at the machine that encases it. Theos stands at the machine, and you are one with him now. You look out at the crowd, at faces of shriveled old men and cherub-cheeked little girls, at mothers bouncing infants to quiet them, and fathers clasping their children's restless hands and watching you with somber acceptance. A woman with tears in her eyes gives you a small nod. You turn back towards the machine, your breaths constricted beneath the weight of unwanted knowledge, preparing yourselves to set out alone on a journey without end. You close your eyes and open them again to find the machine still in front of you, beckoning. You take your place in front of it and place your hand upon a large mechanical disc at the base of the great crystal column and speak a single word. Giant rings creak to life, building speed, setting arrays of carved draconic mouths aglow and sending tremors through the platform beneath you. The entire room shakes now with the force of the accelerating machine, all sound drowned out by its deep, deafening thrums. Brilliant tendrils of light arc outward from the pillar in all directions, and you look over your shoulder to see them engulfing the crowd, burning them brightly like hot iron. One by one the tendrils disappear, leaving ashen effigies where people once stood, many of them disintegrating into great heaps under the stress of the tremor. You look above to the Adra pillar, and a glowing spherical mass has begun to coalesce atop the column where the arcs converge. It grows and pulses, translucent and bulbous, like some immense chrysalis, suspended in slow rotation as though it were being spun from the arcs of light. When the last arc disappears, the spectral mass hangs a moment, no longer rotating, so bright you must shield your eyes with an outstretched hand, and it seems to you as though it is looking at you. You bow your head in acknowledgement and look back up to see it melt into the pillar like warm candle wax. The pillar flares with a flash of light bright as the sun itself, then fades to darkness. The machine slows down to an abrupt halt, and when the last echo of its grinding cogs has passed, the chamber is still and you are alone. From all sides, reality begins to bleed in through the memory, and you find yourself in your own skin once more, looking down at Theos' lifeless body. You sense a listlessness to Theos' soul, an overwhelming fatigue that hinders its immediate escape and makes it vulnerable to manipulation. You feel as though your victory has given you some kind of hold over it, and you're able to do with it as you please. Wow. Wow. Okay, let's see the options here. You will remember this, Theos. Remember that no man can hide the truth forever, and all you've done was done in futility. Your memory shall be your penance. Or, I do not envy you, Theos. I of all people realize the sway memories can hold. It is time you were granted peace. Or, Theos ex Arcanon, there can be no forgiveness for your deeds, only justice. Okay. Your memory makes you a slave to your own past. Perhaps it can't be undone, but it can be forgotten. It shall trouble neither of us any longer. You cause me great suffering, Theos. You do not deserve to exist. I'm gonna go with this one, I think. Theos ex Arcanon, there can be no forgiveness for your deeds, only justice. You shall escape judgment no longer.
To apply the teachings of Durance would more immediately satisfy the cravings in my bones. But this is the stronger lesson, for his soul is already marked by his own hand.
Perhaps this is the best place in the world